It's undeniable that men and women are just different creatures. And if you want to be a guy that has amazing relationships, then some understanding of the fundamentals of female nature is essential. But too many get this wrong. They start to go in way too deep, they overcomplicate it and start to treat women not as humans, but as some like Da Vinci Code level thing that needs to be cracked, which is just way too far off the other side. So in this video, what I want to break down for you are just the 3 basic level fundamental laws of female nature that I wish I'd have known when I was younger, because they would have saved me a bunch of heartbreak and a bunch of effort trying to understand women when I was just getting it wrong. So, firstly, women live in an emotional realm. Femininity is all about creativity and emotional expression. A girl will only decide if she wants to get in a relationship with you, to sleep with you, anything like this, based on how she feels about you. You simply can't logic a girl into a relationship or logic a girl into bed. It just doesn't happen. We make decisions based on how we feel. And because of this, weirdly, the worst thing that a girl can feel for you, it isn't like frustration or annoyance. It's apathy. If she feels nothing for you, what that means is you don't communicate with her on an emotional level. She's not let you in to that level. So she just leaves you in that kind of apathetic, nice guy kind of range. One of the things that girls want to have, girls want to feel, they want to experience, and the guy that's able to create the greatest range of emotions within a girl is able to create the biggest depth of connection to her. She kind of wants to feel frustrated with you occasionally. She wants to feel agitated. She wants to feel happy around you. She wants to feel connected, loving. She wants all of this, because as soon as all you do is offer her one thing, then you're not very interesting to her. You're not creating that kind of excitement that they want to have. There's a reason that every soap opera and everything love story that engages a girl has that whirlwinds of ups and downs of emotional reality. And this is where too many analytical guys go wrong. They simply try to interact with a girl on an analytical and logical level, and it makes the conversation fall flat. There's no connection there. When I'm speaking with a girl, I'm speaking to the things that I love, the things that I hate, things I'm scared of. The amount of times I've told girls about how the fact I am terrified of snakes, they freak me out, okay? Like, I can do spiders, I can do spiders, scorpions, a lot, but snakes freak me out. And I think it's a shout out to my sister on that one, because she decided to show me the film Anaconda when I was growing up, which is just this mammoth snake that went around eating everyone. So now I am freaked out by snakes. And the thing is, they connect to that. So many guys get in their own head of what you can speak to a girl about, and they'd be like, oh no, you can't tell her that you're scared. You've got to be macho man. It's like, no. They connect to that because it feels real. It's an honest expression. Women bond and have oxytocin released through the exchange of emotions and through stories. It's why a girl will fall in love with what she hears about you. Whilst for men it's different. We bond with vasopressin, which is overcoming difficult challenges together. But for women, oxytocin, the love drug, that is just that exchange of emotions that you feel, and you don't get that if you think you should be operating in this logical realm around women. It all comes down to emotions, and if you're able to speak to them in that manner where you can convey some level of passion, some level of just being alive, this is why she wants you to have a job that she doesn't care what you get paid, but if you have a job that you actually kind of enjoy, she prefers that on the basis that she'll know that you're not going to have a dead soul in 30 years and that you're actually going to have a spark that she can connect to inside of you. Speaking to women and having interactions on an emotional level is so important, and it's the thing that guys fall down on the most, because I've found, like, I'm a professional dating coach. I help guys all over the world get a girlfriend, and it's very rarely their issue is resolved, like their issue is down to like, oh, who they are and what they say kind of thing. It's down to this like emotional blockage that they have when trying to connect. That is what causes men to be single far more than, oh, he just doesn't have a six-pack or something like that. It's not that. Because this is why the guy with a big beer belly will still be a guy with six-pack abs for the girl. If the guy with a beer belly is comfortable in himself and the guy with six-pack abs is massively insecure, because how he feels about himself on an emotional level, even with his beer belly, is better than how the guy with the six-pack feels about himself. So, the second law of female nature, and that is women have an impossible choice to make because they are actually looking for two guys at the same time. Everyone knows this, but they want that kind of protector and provider simultaneously. I think in an interview I've heard Jordan Peterson refer to it as this. They want a guy who is monstrous enough to be able to keep the other monsters at bay that are out there, the monsters in the world. He has to be able to step up and be able to keep them at bay. But a guy that isn't monstrous enough that it would impact her and any potential future children they would have, that he still has that caring nature. It's that gentleman dichotomy again, that he is able to be gentle around women and children, but he's still a man who is able to stand up for what he believes to be right and tell the truth. That is huge for a guy, to be able to just stand there and be resolute and not just crumble. And this is why men will often get frustrated about what is it that a girl's after. And it's because it is this complicated balance. And every girl's unique. Every girl will have almost her own cocktail of the two that she's looking for, of the attributes between them. And this is what leads men to that frustration, because they think they need to be this one thing and then they go be it, but then they're missing the whole other side. This is like the nice guy paradox, where he's just the complete and utter provider. He will do anything for her. He will dote all over her for maybe some attention, but he isn't able to operate as that protector. And she doesn't feel like she can trust him. She doesn't feel like she can open up to him, because all he does is offer one side of a two-sided coin. And that's the difficulty for men. It's learning that you need to be able to play both roles. And this even matches up to their cycle, that during different periods of the month, she'll be more attracted to traits that you display from either side of the role. And men can either see this as like, oh, women are so complicated, they need so much. And it's like, yeah, okay, but at the point that you can just like magic enough new human being out of your body, like maybe we'll call it even. At the end of the day, women are the closest thing to magic that exists in the world. Imagine that. We just give them something that we happily throw away into like a tissue multiple times a week, and they turn it into a real bloody human being. That is crazy. So yeah, guys can kind of step it up a little bit and be able to play just these two roles and be the complete man for a woman and be the gentleman who operates in both. Because that's the difficulty women have. They're left with this impossible choice where they always feel like having to make a sacrifice of one for the other, when instead, a guy that really wants to be successful with women knows he needs to operate at a high level in both. Okay. Thirdly, she never wants to be your only priority. This was the biggest mistake I made being younger me. I didn't have a girlfriend for ages, so when the first one came along, I was all in. She was my number one priority for everything. I cared so much about it. She was like my central guiding compass for how to operate in the world. And because of that, I put an immense amount of pressure on her, because I'd essentially said, all my happiness, everything I am, is dependent on how you feel about me, not how I feel about myself. And all this communicates is a level of neediness, and it's too much pressure for a girl. But so many guys do this, especially if they've not had success in relationships for a while. They get caught in this trap and they just put all that pressure on the girl. And sometimes, this is the complicated bit, sometimes a girl will almost give the impression that that's what they want. They want you to spend the time with them. They're sad when you go. They're begging, can you stay, kind of thing. No, don't go. Oh, come spend time with me. And they want more and more of your time until such a point that they have all of it. And then they kind of lose interest, because for a girl, that's part of the exchange of a relationship, that she just wants to be able to have more and more of your time and attention. That's what they love. But once we have all of that, then the interest is kind of gone. And this is why a man needs to have these other things going on in his life. Like, it's kind of crude, but the comparison would be if you went home with a girl on a night out or something, and she just kind of did everything. You'd be so hyped. It'd be like, this is crazy. This girl's like doing everything, all of your darkest fantasies, all on that first night. Great. But how would your interest levels be the next day if you feel like, well, there's nowhere really to go from here? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, we went to fucking heaven and back, or hell and back, you know, depending on the girl. But then there's nowhere really to go. So this is what a girl will feel like. Once she's had all of you, there's nothing left to offer, and a girl doesn't want to feel that, even though she might communicate that she wants to spend time with you, she wants all of this. If you feel like you're already kind of spending a reasonable amount of time, that is just a natural cycle in the sort of nature of a woman to want to have more of you. And the strong guy, the masculine guy, is not the guy that gives up his friends in order to spend more time with his relationship. It's not the guy that gives up on the pursuit of his like career and his hobbies and sacrifices all of this for her, because a man is only as attractive as his life. And if you've just sacrificed all of the aspects of your life that made you attractive in the first place to get with her, well, guess what? You're no longer attractive. You don't have that bubbling social circle. You don't have all these cool hobbies. All you are is just a slave to her validation. So this was the mistake I made. The girl I was dating kept making it clear she wanted to spend more time, to such a point that I just wasn't that attractive anymore, and I fell into that trap. So understanding the balance of, yeah, a girl will really want to be with you and spend time, but it shouldn't come as a cost to the things that make you you, the things that make you authentically you, because otherwise that relationship will always be doomed. And I'm cutting it there. I don't want any more information to just leave you in this analysis paralysis with girls, because otherwise you'll go down the rabbit hole and you'll start treating them like they're an alien species, and you'll not be able to connect. You'll not be able to have the relationships you want to have. Everything will feel stale when you try and interact. So what I will point you to, though, is the main problem I see in men. So we've done women. If you want to understand yourself, then I highly recommend you check out this video where I break down the deadliest emotion for men, because this is the one emotion that will keep you single. And if you can't find a way to be able to process and work with it, then you will always be single and you will always be lonely.